Hi everyone, my name is Georgette Truan. I am the host of Fight CPS with Ms G, and I also work with attorney Vincent Davis. um, I there's so much I want to share with you guys today, but I actually want to I want to just bring this up to your attention, okay? Hold on. 33rd degree. Some people say that there's murder involved. I come to say goodbye. And you get. Sorry, let's go back here. This is live footage of a Freemasonry satanic ritual. When people say you sell your soul, this is what I imagine everyone to picture. This is a spiritual adoption that Freemasons essentially get to bring these children in. Each Freemason is assigned their own child. They do this little ritual with them, and it's essentially they're married spiritually. A lot of times these children are foster children. I mean, if that doesn't sound like pedophilia, then I don't know what is. After 32nd degree, you have to have a life-changing event, they call it. So you have to drink blood out of an actual human skull when you go into the 33rd degree. Some people say that there's murder involved, rape. They have lots of little symbols that mock Jesus, that mock God. It's basically their way of practicing Satanism in a ritualistic sense. Freemasons will never say the word Jesus. It's always Grand Architect, Supreme Architect. That's crazy. There's a lot of judges that are Freemasons, and that's how you see Freemasons get out of jail free. They say these code words while they're on trial, and they get recognized by the judge who gives them a lesser sentence. If you notice, every Freemason lodge, for the most part, is always located next to a police station or a city courthouse building, and that's just strategic in my eyes. Freemasonry is not your home. Your home is with Jesus Christ. Watch the full YouTube video now to see the difference. So this is a Freemason undercover guy that exposed them. And you already heard that most of these children are foster children. Judges are also Freemason, and they have special codes, special word they say in court for the judges to give them a lesser sentence, etc., etc. Oftentimes, you guys ask me, why CPS love to take children. That's why. They want to place children in homes that you guys have no idea about. And this is not to scare you. This is to bring awareness. This is to let you guys see that children are not safe with CPS. I don't care if some of you guys think that, your sister is a social worker, your mother is a social worker, etc., etc. I spoke to social workers who were in the system, and they all told me they're sadistic. Each and every one of them is sadistic, including judges, including Monterey Park Courthouse in LA County, including United States of America, period, that have connection with children and family services. They are not something you can fight on your own. People oftentimes say, well, Ms. G, why is it so expensive? Well, it's expensive because you're fighting all these demonic entities, right? You guys think you have control over them because they're your children? Well, you need to wake the hell up. You need to really focus on getting yourself aware and prepared for the fight. There is so much you guys will never in a million years. I can do 40 videos. I can stand here and talk to you for 50 hours. You will never process what I know. Never. Because there's so much more that I know that when I try to talk about it, explain it to you guys get lost. Your mind wanders off when I'm speaking to you. You are fighting against the state. You are fighting against the county. You are fighting social workers, demonic social workers. You are also fighting the district attorney, the children attorneys, CPS attorneys, and the list goes on and on and on. Oftentimes you guys ask me, like today, well, Ms. G, the judge hasn't heard my whole story. Let me speak up, and I have things to say to the judge. You will never get through to the judge.
You on your own will never get through to the judge. You're dealing with a demonic entity, period. The judges are in on it. I just had you listen to this video. This undercover guy that exposed Freemason. You guys think judges are not Freemason in child protective courts? Do you guys think social workers are not Freemason? Do you guys think social workers are legit? Or you think social workers are there to help your child or you? You're far from reality, man. I understand some of you guys don't have the money to get a CPS defense attorney. I get that part. But in all of this going on, you guys need to do whatever you can to hire the proper defense attorney for your case. As long as you hire the proper defense attorney for your case, don't ever think that defense attorney is going to ask you for $2,500 or $5,000. You better believe if your case is so messed up and is so old, and you waited till the mid of your case or the end of your case, your retainer will never be that low. People don't get that just because some of the attorneys are CPS defense attorneys, it doesn't mean that they're going to offer you guys free services. It's not going to happen because you guys already get the scumbags that the court assigns you for free. Those attorneys, especially Monterey Park Courthouse, especially LA County, they're all scumbags. They get paid by the state, whether they actually help you or not. These attorneys are free, but anything that's free is too good to be true. You want an attorney to fight for you, it's going to cost. That's just the reality. Oftentimes you guys say to me, like last month, or sorry, 2 weeks ago, this mother said to me, well, why is it so much money? And why can't you guys do it, because you care about children? Well, if we don't care about children, we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. But you can't expect anyone to work for free. Just because the court-appointed attorneys don't get paid by you, that doesn't mean they don't get paid, period. Actually, being a court-appointed attorney is the easiest job there is. Let me explain why. And I'm going to take you step by step because I'm getting sick and tired of people thinking it's easy. CPS defense attorneys in your county that gets assigned to you for free, they don't work on your case. They don't review your case. They speak to you a few minutes before the court hearings. They don't even have a strategy to implement on your case. When you come to trial, they tell you don't go through the trial. You're going to lose. These are the free attorneys. They also tell you just listen to what the social worker tells you to do. That's your free attorney. Another one, that free attorney would tell you to plead guilty to something you haven't done so you can get your children back. And I'm so sorry, Miss So-and-so. I had no idea the case was going to take that long. Had I known, oh, well, things would be different. That's what the court-appointed attorneys tell you. They play a role of confusion, right? Letting you think they're on your side. They hate you for existing. That's your court-appointed attorney. And I don't care what anyone else says. That's who they are. They are literally bankrupt from themselves. They lack emotions. They lack common sense. They lack empathy. These people will not have a role in that court unless they are narcissistic, sociopathic individuals that will get the job done for the county and the state. they will make you question your own reality. You will be looking at reality in front of you, and they will make you think you're wrong. You're seeing this all wrong. That's not really what's going on. But you're like, well, wait a minute now. I have a list here, and you're telling me that list is wrong. But what's happening really with my children? Once you start questioning, once you start having common sense and you speak up, that's when you're targeted even more, because now you have a brain. You're not bowing down to the enemy. You're not bowing down to Satan. Fernando said, I need help with a CPS case, but I don't have a lot of money. I can make initial payment and then payments after that. I understand, Fernando. I get it. It depends on where your case is. If your case is, 30 minutes away from the office or 24 minutes away from the office, that's between you and Attorney Davis to discuss. But just to let you know, we are not credit card companies to even go through payment plans and all this, because oftentimes 70% of our cases are payment plans. They haven't paid Attorney Davis, and that's the God honest truth. So oftentimes when you tell people it's okay, we'll go through the payment plan, and then they come back and saying, oh, it's the attorney's fault. He never did this. He never did this. He never did that. But in reality, everything that you've done wrong on your case is the reason why you lost your case. Because I work for an office that literally bust their ass for their client. Or let me take the A out, but bust their behind for their clients. Oftentimes you might not see what the strategy is, because no matter what, however Attorney Davis explained the strategy to you, you will be lost. I was lost for many years. I didn't get his strategy until recently, last year, 2023. So with that being said, I want you guys to think really. Who are you fighting? You're fighting the state and the county. You expect the attorney to bust their assets for the state and county for very little money. That means they have to come out of pocket in order for them to help you and many others like you. Because Attorney Davis cannot be like, oh, well, I'll help this one, but not this one. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And you guys think that the state is going to pay Attorney Davis to represent you in court instead of the court-appointed attorney? You're mistaken. Your court-appointed attorney is assigned to you to fight against you, to literally be the backbone of the state and county to lose your case so they can get the federal money rushing in. You think the judge cares about you being a great dad or great mom? The judge only get the flow of the money in, and that's what keeps job security open for them. You guys need to wise up. I explain this day by day by day by day. When your attorney, say you hired an attorney from our office, or you hired Attorney Davis himself, whatever. Then the attorney says, just suppose, I passed the bar and I'm your attorney. And then I say, you know what, Fernando? Example, I'm using Fernando as an example. I recommend you not speaking to the social worker without me. Anytime the social worker contacts you, you let them know to speak to me. Now I'm pretending that I passed the bar and I'm your attorney. Okay? This is all role play. But I want you to pay attention. And then Fernando, a few days later, thinks he has a nice social worker and tends to say to the social worker, yeah, you're nicer than the most of the other ones I received recently. Oh, thank God for you. God heard my prayers. And, even though my attorney said not to speak with you without her, but I think you're cool. And then the social worker would play the role saying, Fernando, I understand that some people are corrupt in the system, but I'm here to help you, Fernando. Trust me. Then Fernando trusts her. Then I get a call, from Fernando saying, oh, yeah, the social worker said to trust her and everything is going to be cool. Then I go to court. And then all of a sudden the judge says, well, Miss Truon, did your client tell you that he tried to bribe the social worker? And I'm like, no, Your Honor. And I look at the client. This shit is real. And then the client says, well, we'll talk outside. Okay. So, of course, that's not what the client tried to do. He did not try to bribe the social worker, but that's what the social worker said. Now, had the client listened to his attorney to begin with, this would never have happened. You guys are your own worst enemy. And then you blame our office. And then you say you're not going to pay the payment plan you agreed on. Right? And then you got your free work. Which is sad. Because it's not just one bad apple that did this. It's several bad apples that did this. And then people still ask us to do payment plan. No, we're not going to do payment plan. What I suggest, you talk to your family and friends, and you get as many people on your side to help you financially. But don't think that this fight is a breezy fight. Because even if you want to sue CPS, let me explain something about lawsuits. This is so sad. This is truly sad. If you want to sue CPS, you already damaged your case from beginning to end. You do not have the right proof, right? And your attorney ruined your case. You know why? Because there was no evidence, there was no proof submitted into court. But Ms. G, I already told the social worker. How in the heck are you going to give the social worker proof thinking this social worker is going to take it as evidence? It's a social worker. I know they act like they're God on earth, but they're nothing but demons. They're cowards. You give the proof and evidence to your attorney, you do it in writing. Here, Mr. So-and-so, or here, Miss So-and-so, here's my evidence, but you have to do it on time. You cannot wait till the end of the case to email your attorney when the case is already in your termination of parental rights or reunification services are terminated. Then all of a sudden, you have proof from 2 years ago. You guys have no idea. You guys think this is criminal court. You guys think this is family court. You guys think this is probate court. This is state and county, for the love of God. State and county. You're fighting a corrupt county, especially California. State. California state is so corrupt. The Los Angeles County is so corrupt. You think that is easy breezy crap. They all want your children. All of them. And they're not going to take a new law as, oh my God, we're going to have to abide by the law. No, because they set rules in place to violate you, violate your parenting style, violate everything about you as a parent. Whether you're a man or a woman, they will violate you. I've had a show where there was a whistleblower disclosing everything what they do. They already know when you have a baby, they place the baby immediately in an adoptive foster home. Why? because that's money to them. That's money. So while you are doing your classes and thinking your attorney is working for you, and you're a great parent, and your family, especially the grandparents, I love that part. Especially the grandparents. Oh, just follow everything, do your classes, you're going to get your children back. Well, you're dumb, foolish to give such advice to your children when you never went to law school. You don't know anything about law, including the county and state procedures. Sad. And then the social worker will use you as the scapegoat, grandma, grandpa, to say, well, the grandparents said that mom, mom is, doing drugs, or mom is this and that. And then, of course, they're going to get mom to fight with grandma and grandpa, and the whole family now separated. Humans in general can't keep shit to themselves. And I'm mad. Let me tell you why I'm mad. Because while you guys think you're suffering, that video I showed you from the beginning of the show, your kids are suffering more. Yeah, you heard me. Your child literally is suffering more than you could ever process. I love it when social workers say children have endurance. No, you depleted souls. No, they don't have endurance because they medicate them. They kill their joy and they kill their spirit. Children don't have endurance like that. So while you're thinking you're doing the right thing for your grandchildren and your children, think again. Oftentimes, and I'm going to repeat, oftentimes they use these children in homes where they will be sex trafficked. They put these children in homes where they will be part of satanic ritual crap. You guys think this is not like this is all fetch and it's not real, and this is real. The reason I have this passion in me is because I know the truth. But the truth is so hard to swallow that you guys don't get. When someone knows the truth, it becomes now, it's time to put on God's armor and fight. But the truth is so hard, like I said, to grasp. It's hard. Because in your mind, you're in denial. I know so much about CPS that, again, I'm going to repeat that if you guys knew, it's going to start a war. And that's people against the government war I'm talking about. So you guys need to wise up and lawyer up. Do not hire a freaking family law attorney and come crying to me. Because I'm telling you right now, a family law attorney is not a CPS defense attorney, for the love of God. A criminal attorney is not a CPS defense attorney. A probate attorney is not a CPS defense attorney. An immigration attorney is not a CPS defense attorney. Now, when it comes to Attorney Davis, for example, he's been doing this for 38 years. So he is very well-rounded, right? He knows CPS laws. He knows state laws. He's a civil attorney. He's a probate attorney. He's a defense attorney. He is like literally immigration attorney. He is whatever. He's all of it because he's been doing it for so long. But for you guys to go hire the cheapest ones, yes, family law attorneys that haven't done CPS cases, right, will take a small retainer and then tell you, oh yeah, I can help you with this. No, they can't. So don't be fooled. Please do not be fooled. Because they're going to be just like the court-appointed attorneys. They don't know crap. They're going to just stand there like zombies. And then, of course, he's going to gaslight you as a parent. And you're going to be like, wait a minute, I need to speak. Can I talk to the judge? And the judge looks at your attorney and says, well, Mr. So-and-so, would you recommend for your client to speak to me? And of course, they're going to say, yeah, sure. Whoopee. Then mom and dad opens their mouth, or grandma and grandpa open their mouth, and then they make their case even worse. CFT meetings, or whatever they call it, meetings with the social workers. Do not have them. If you have a scumbag attorney, ask your scumbag attorney from the court that they assigned you to be present or to be on the phone. That attorney is going to say no. I guarantee you 1,000,000 times. They're going to say no. Just go ahead and talk to the social workers. It's just a meeting. That's when you know it's not going to work. And the reason they do this to all of you is because you can't afford a CPS defense attorney because it costs money. And I'm not talking about $500 or $2,500 or $3,500 or $5,000. It's going to cost a lot more than you could ever process. Fernando said, how can we go about suing CPS? I just spoke to you guys about suing CPS. You have to have the proper evidence, Fernando. And you guys don't even know what evidence looks like. And let me explain that to you again. When you're collecting evidence, for example, I'll show you one. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to show you one right now, but I have to take a photo of it. I don't want to show his phone number. Okay. So here is example. If this is a social worker, right, and you save that social worker's information on your phone, contact information, and that social worker sends you a text message saying, Brian or Eve, you're an asshole. Example, you're never going to see your child again. I've seen that before, by the way. Social worker wrote that to a client of ours. LA County, by the way. And her office was in Vermont, by the way. So, and then you print that and you take it to court. Now, all it's going to show is her name, Eve, right? That's all. It's going to show her name. Well, how is that proof that she actually wrote that? Oftentimes, a social worker will change their phone numbers. You guys didn't know that. I found that recently, the beginning of the year, 2024. So they changed their phone numbers. So you had a 213 number in case, in case you guys don't know what 213 area code is, it's a LA County area code. 213. In case they have a 213 number, and all of their numbers are 213 or 323. Then they change their phone number. Because every time they call you guys, for example, a different number appears. You print out your text messages as evidence, but then the judge will say, well, how do I know that this is evidence? Really evidence, because Who is this person texting you? Could be anybody. Could be anyone texting you, for the love of God. So I tell people this: email them. Email them, CC your attorney and their supervisor. Anytime you get the inkling or the urge to speak to a social worker, ask them for their information. Email, email, email. What are they going to say? That's not my email. Well, it's LA County email, so they can't lie about that. All communication should be in writing. Text message is not really evidence. Because again, I just learned that, sometimes they change their phone number. Most times, actually. And text messages is really not evidence. Again, anything that is evidence, concrete evidence, should be done in writing via email with you, social worker, and CCing the social worker supervisor, because that will have her title and her email signature line. And also the court-appointed attorney, because if you ask your court-appointed attorney to forward, file a petition, include evidence and this, and they haven't done it from the beginning of your case, then you have something in writing showing that they haven't done it. And then you can use that during the appeal process. And you can use that as an exhibit, giving you examples. I've learned a lot working involving myself with law. And God willing, when I pass law school, I'm going to be a really good attorney, because I literally believe in myself right now, because I see the injustice more and more and more, and I get angrier when it happens, and it makes me so like fire inside me that I want to make it happen. I want to fight, and I want to win, and I want to stick it up to them in places that will hurt so badly. Places where the sun doesn't even shine. That's how passionate I am. But you guys take the information you're learning, talk to your family and friends, and then they give you different information they have no clue about. And you guys tend to believe those who never literally worked in a law office even, or studied law, period. And all of a sudden you guys know that's concrete, that's information that you need to run with and implement in your case. That's far from the truth. No one can ever give you legal advice if they haven't studied law. Meaning, you went to law school, you passed the bar, you dedicated yourself services helping others. You've been an attorney for years and years and years, and you know your crap. That's the ones you need to speak with. Oftentimes, I also hear attorneys, family law attorneys, giving advice to a CPS case parent, saying, this lady said she paid $50 for a consultation. And the attorney in LA County told her, it's okay, as long as you're doing your classes and drug test, all that, you're fine. They're going to give you your children back. What you guys don't understand is that I was on the phone call and she even told him that I was going to be on. She didn't tell him if I worked for a law firm or not. I just wanted to hear it. He gave her complete wrong information. And that's why when she said, Georgette, after the call ended, she said, Georgette, I will go ahead and follow whatever the social worker says because I don't have the money to fight. I said, baby girl, at least take Davis's book and implement with your court-appointed attorney. Now, see, the thing with me is that even if you did not hire us, that's okay. But I still want you to win. So I'm doing everything I can to get you guys in the right track. And here is a book, How to Fight CPS and Win by attorney Vincent Davis. He also has Guilty Until Proven Innocent. This is when it comes to criminal matters, okay? I also bought this book, Meet Your Straw Man and Whatever You Want to Know. I got this one from Amazon as well. I recommend this book for you guys as well, okay? Take the book, okay? It's a link that I can send you guys, and you guys can use it for your court-appointed attorney, with your court-appointed attorney, but don't, oftentimes I don't want you to be like, oh yeah, another attorney has, no, just implement it. For example, when it comes to the contested jurisdictional hearing, which is the first trial number 1. You see that? Trial number 1, okay? And then Attorney Davis on page 35, he states, important things have to be completed for trial preparation. Important things have to be completed for trial preparation. And he breaks it down right here. So if that's the case, if this is your hearing coming up, then the only thing you would need to do is say, attorney so and so, have we interviewed certain witnesses, that I have given you the list of? Have you interviewed them? Number 1. Did you subpoena the witnesses? The therapist, the doctor, the this, the that, the social worker that lied on your report, all of that, the investigative social worker, etc., etc., etc. Have you subpoenaed them? Okay. Have you reviewed this discovery of documents and subpoenaing of these documents to court? Has your attorney done so? Right there. He breaks it down. And then the law permits you to conduct discovery under local superior court rules and or the state of California rules of court. Mr. Davis goes on, page 36. He says, in my opinion, this is the step which is not used enough. Which is not used enough. Why isn't it used enough? The social worker's records and the files, which are different from the court's records and files. Remember that. The social worker records and files are different than the court records and files. Should be obtained and reviewed. There is always a strong possibility that these records and documents will contain information that could assist in your defense process. Mr. Davis, Attorney Davis, also goes on by saying, before the hearing or trial, you should work on an opening or closing argument with your attorney. These are not always used and not always required by the court, but it is an excellent way to organize the case for its eventual presentation. Part 2. Special attention should be given to analyzing the case from the perspective of every participant. The judge, the social worker, and her attorney, and the minor's attorney, etc. He goes on by saying, too many times I see clients and other attorneys only giving consideration from their own perspective, forgetting that there are sometimes many other competing perspectives in the courtroom. If these aren't considered, you are not adequately preparing for trial. So, hearsay evidence is admissible in court in the social worker's report. Hearsay, again, let me read that again. Hearsay evidence is admissible in the social worker's report. but not by the parents. So you can say, Your Honor, the social worker came to my house and she spit at me. The social worker could easily say to the judge, She attacked me, Your Honor. The judge is going to believe the hearsay the social worker says, and your truth is crap. Pay attention. I'm going to repeat it again. Hearsay evidence is admissible in the social worker's report, but not by the parents. Yes, this is not a mistake, Attorney Davis wrote. That's on page 37. It is based on assumption. He went on, saying, it is based on assumption that the social worker is neutral and objective. An assumption which I have found in many of my cases not to be true or accurate. Many assumption based on simple economics. Social workers cannot afford the time or resources to prove a child abuse case the old-fashioned way. So the courts and legislator have given them this privilege, which in most cases turns out to be a huge disadvantage for the parents. But then again, Senator Nancy Schaefer in Georgia, God rest her soul, exposed that very exact thing. That the state judges are so used to the money coming in, they're not enforcing the law with the social workers. They're literally giving a blind eye and telling them to do what they want to do because of all that money. It's called job security, like she said it. It's all job security. So wise up, lawyer up. Do not think that for a second that you finishing your classes is going to be giving you a free card to get your children back. That's literally a lie. When I say literally a lie, that's a lie. 100% a lie. So, again, this book is important. If you can't afford Attorney Davis himself, at least implement the information that he has clearly written for you guys to use with your court-appointed attorneys by email only. Now, you can email your court-appointed attorney, like I said, and say, have we subpoenaed Dr. So-and-so? Have we subpoenaed blah, 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 blah? If he or she lies and says they have, which is a freaking lie, you go to that doctor, you go to that therapist, you do not say anything else to them. Just say, Mr. or Miss So-and-so, can you please write a letter that disclosing that you would like to be subpoenaed, but you haven't been subpoenaed? Because when you ask them if they've been subpoenaed, they're going to say no. I guarantee you, they're going to say no. Then that's when you email back your court-appointed attorney, including the social worker and the supervisor, and say, hey, I have a question. I just, attached our letters from the doctor and the therapist stating they never been subpoenaed. Then you're going to get a reply back. I just know the script so well. Then you're going to get a reply back and they're going to say, well, did you give us the right address? Well, let me speak to my assistant and see what's going on. Please. They haven't done it. They're not going to do it. You need that. You need that written notifications. And you need that proof that you send it to your attorney. Because, baby, you can do a lot of damage with that proof. Because they failed to work for you. Remember that. Now, We're talking about court-appointed attorneys. If you hire a CPS defense attorney and you say, Mr. So-and-so, I have evidence from 2 years ago, or I have evidence from a year ago, I need to be submitting to court. That attorney most likely will say, it's too late to submit this evidence now. Because right now, we're focused on reunification services. Those evidence should have been done a year or two ago. So let's see what we can do now to make sure that your reunification services are not terminated. Because right after termination of reunification services, you're going to lose your parental rights. Once you lose your parental rights, for the love of God, the grandparents are going to lose your rights. Any relatives in the child's life is going to lose their rights as well. Okay? Also, just because the social worker places your children with family members home, that doesn't mean it's going to remain with the family member. That family member needs to lawyer up as well. That's why Attorney Davis has a section in here for relatives' rights, grandparents' rights. Okay? If you have a mother or father, grandparents who have a conviction against them decades ago, right? I'm going to give you the code right now. Oops, here we go. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, so the California State Senate voted to, I think it was 2 years ago, that Nancy Skinner, SB 354, which will remove obstacles from children in the foster care system being placed with relative caregiver who may have a past conviction once the placement has been fully vetted to ensure the child's safety. Okay, that is, again, Nancy Skinner law that went in effect. That's the Senate District 9 that went in effect September 10th, 2021. Okay, I'm going to take a copy of that link and I'm going to send it to you guys right now. I want you guys to lawyer up, for God's sakes. Now, that new law also states, let me just read it from the beginning. It says the California State Senate voted anonymously today to approve Senator Nancy Skinner SB 354, which will remove obstacles from children in the foster care system being placed with a relative caregiver who may have a past conviction once the placement has been fully vetted to ensure the child's safety. Earlier on Friday, the State Assembly passed SB 354 on a vote of 49. The legislation now goes to, oh God, I will not ever pronounce that name, Governor Gavin Newsom, for consideration. The research is clear. Children who live with a family member thrive far better than youth placed in an institutional or non-familiar foster care settings, said Senator Skinner. That will remove barriers that prevent children from being placed with a family member and ensure that the placement is safe for the child. California currently has over 60,000 children in the foster care system, which is more now, you guys, because this is again from 2021. Let me repeat. California currently has over 60,000 in foster care system. Children who are from Black and brown families, according to child welfare indicators project. Black and Latin children are 2.8 and 1.22 times more likely to have contact with the foster care system than their white counterparts. Many of these children have family members with a past conviction that creates a barrier for the child being reunited with a parent or relative. Further, if a child is put in a foster placement at any point in their lives, being reunited with their family becomes even more challenging. Current California law still contains significant barriers to children staying with parents or relatives or being reunited with them. If the caring and capable adults seeking custody has a prior criminal conviction, under current law and practice, even the relatives whose prior conviction is in the distant past or for a non-violent crime faces barriers to caring for their family members. These barriers remain despite the adult relative receiving a certificate of rehabilitation or going for years without any interaction with law enforcement. And even when a relative with prior conviction is granted custody of a child under the current law, that appeals process can take years, which can leave a child in a temporary home and subject the child to a trauma of being separated from their families. The SB 354 would remove barriers to children being placed with family members by ensuring that any existing relationship between a relative caregiver and a child is considered in decisions regarding home approval and placement. Limiting obstacles and can cause placement delays or denials for prospective relatives and caregivers by waiving income requirements when appropriate and supporting relatives in assessing necessary supplies such as cribs, car seats, and booster seats. Broadening the list of convictions that qualify for exemption and simplified exemptions, clarifying that the court shall use its independent judgment in placement decision. That is District 9. This law came in effect September 10th, 2021. Again, this is Nancy Skinner, Senate District 9. Okay, now this is important because you guys need to know that anybody in your family who has a past conviction, who poses no current threats to society or to your children or to yourself, cannot be denied placement of your children. But what social workers do is they tell the family member to become foster parents because they get more money from the federal government when they are foster parents. Now, in New York, there's a new law, and Stacy is going to talk about that when she comes back on the show, where they no longer are required to force families to be foster parents, to have their grandchildren or their niece and nephews. But they're doing that to force them, especially in California. And then they will retaliate against you as a foster parent and come back and collect these kids while your name is now literally smeared with, and you're on the state khaki registry as a child abuser or neglecting children. You guys think that because you're a foster parent, you're protected by CPS? They're going to, again, pain you where the sun doesn't shine. Okay. Okay, Fernando, you're in Riverside. We've had no cases in Riverside, Marietta, Indio, California. I mean, all over the United States, really. Sasha, you said you're from Florida looking for advice. You're more than welcome to contact me at this 888-888-6582 number that you see right there, right here. and ask for Miss G or Georgette, and Joni, Rachel, or Jenna will answer the phone most likely, and they know who I am. And they will email me your information, and also make sure that you give them the right name and your phone number and email address, please. Pearl said, what about uh, preferred? What? I'm trying to get my nephew that was placed at my cousin. Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know the story. Again, I can't give you an answer like that. I need to know more about the case. Like, why was your nephew placed at your cousin and not you, right? Was there any past conviction against you? Was there a felony charge against you? If so, when was it? Was it how many years ago was it? Right? What you do currently, right? So if you're a good member of society right now and you have a good job, sometimes I speak to relatives who are nurses, doctors now, and the past conviction was like decades old, like when they were younger, before college type of thing. It was like high school when they're 18 or 20, like that. And then they, became members, like great members of society, helping other people, stuff like that. So again, it depends a lot on what's going on. He was removed. She said he was removed. Let's go here. He was removed from his prior placement and temporary place at my cousin. I am an RFA approved already and adopted two of his siblings. Okay, so you have two of his siblings. Now, you had to become a foster parent. Correct me if I'm wrong, but please reply back. Now, you already have two of the other kids. The other cousin had to be a foster parent, I'm sure, in order for her to have placement of your nephew. Now they have two homes who are foster homes. Get it? Because they need more foster parents. It is all about convenience for them. It's not so much about the child's safety and needs. It's they're literally violating the child's rights as well. I'm already a foster parent. They have not finished the process already. So, see what I mean? You're already a foster parent. Why do you have to be a foster? If you really ask yourselves, why do you guys have to be foster parents? When I was growing up, I didn't see my aunt as a foster parent. I didn't know what that was. First of all, I call her auntie, grandma, grandpa. So, why does the relatives have to be foster parents? In order for them to control you. Come and recycle the child. Anybody can make allegations about the foster parents too. They see you as the foster parent on paper, and that's how the federal government funds them money because the child is placed in a foster home. They don't say the child is placed with grandma and grandpa when they collect their money from the federal government. Whatever you see written down is different than what reality is for them. She said, I adopted his brother November at last of last year, so I am already approved from our county. You're still missing the whole point. Pearl, just call the 888 number, please. Call the 888 number that you see right there. Oops. Yeah, right there. And ask for Miss G or Georgette, and Joni, Jenna, or Rachel will answer the call. Okay? Um, I will explain it to you better. If you guys need to reach me again, please call the 888 number. But I need to explain something to you guys though. Some of you guys have my direct phone number for work, and you guys text me and tell me, Miss G, give me a call. I need your full name. I don't know who you are. I need your full name. If you guys try to call me and I don't answer the phone because I'm on the phone, I'm in a meeting, or I'm in court. Either way, it's best for you guys to text me. If you guys text me and say, Ms. G, we're going to email you some documents, and I literally give you guys my email address, but you forget the W in the email because it's GAT@VincentWDavis.com. And then I'm looking for your email and looking for your email, and I don't see it. You're missing something, okay? If you do email me, and say you guys saw that the email was sent, that doesn't necessarily mean I received the email. It depends on how you have your email written, because again, you're sending a attachment to a law firm. We have firewall, right, to protect us and our clients. So that prevents me from getting your email. Like somebody I'm talking to, the email of this person starts with SEX and then has other stuff in there that's inappropriate, and then at gmail.com. Okay. Or your email address is something about the attachment that firewall just doesn't see that it's right. It will prevent us from getting it. So again, be mindful. Don't assume I have your stuff, right? Like, hey, Ms. G, what happened? You're not responding to me. I sent you paperwork 2 weeks ago. Or when you guys send me stuff, send it to me as a PDF attachment. Don't send it to me as a photo attachment, because I can't enlarge it and I can't see it. So if I do enlarge it, it's so blurry, I can't read anything. It's just a waste of my time, because I have so much to do and I'm trying to accommodate you guys. And it's also a waste of your time to keep trying to send it to me when I tell you guys to send it to me as a PDF attachment. Just send it to me as a PDF attachment, for God's sakes. If you don't know how to do it, ask someone to help you, or ask me how to do it. I'll be happy to walk you through it. But I cannot enlarge documents. I do not, for it to be clear, because again, it's blurry. Now, if you guys think that on my work phone I get documents like an iPhone to an iPhone, or Android to Android, or whatever, I don't. We don't get any photos or any documents. Not anymore. So on the work phone, none of that. You have to email everything. And you guys have already my email address and my direct work cell. I am now going to share the Senator Nancy Skinner law that was in effect September 10th, 2021. But again, the social workers are going to act so oblivious, like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not the case. Blah, blah, blah. That's why they're going to lie and say, oh, yeah, the relative, there was a report made against a relative for domestic violence. Again, hearsay works for them. Doesn't work for you. Okay? So that way they can hinder any possibility of the relative or the grandparents to have any placement of their grandkids. Okay? Here is the new law. Well, it's not new, but 2021, that's when the law was in effect, full effect. Okay? So, now, I'm really short now. Okay, so this is the link right here. Right here, just click on that link and it will give you the law that you need to be aware of. Okay? Now, if you have a good CPS defense attorney, if you have a relative that you want to have placement and you're worried that the social worker is going to make false reporting to make sure they hinder that relative from any chance of having their grandkids placed with them, for example, I need you to tell that relative to listen to this show and tell them to wise up and make sure, for example, they stay away from trouble, stay away from crazy people, not to retaliate against anyone because they think they're protecting their grandkids. All of that is hindering you from having your grandchildren. Okay. Anytime you open your mouth to the enemy, they will take every word you said and twist it and rewrite history for you. So you don't want to deal with somebody who is rewriting history for you. Okay. Um, if you guys want a copy of Attorney Davis's book, I have the link. Most of you guys have the link. I already shared it with a lot of you guys. And also the guilty until proven innocent for any criminal cases. Attorney Davis is very detailed in this book as well. And let me tell you what the book is actually. Hold on a second. So here it says the players in the criminal justice system, page 7. The investigation, what to do if you are a suspect, page 11. Suspected of driving under the influence, which is DUI, that's page 25. 10 ways to avoid DUI arrest and or conviction. Retained experts prove our client's innocence. We have also expert witnesses that we hire. Also, common criminal charges, the judicial process, how a conviction can ruin your life. And that's not a joke. Expunging convictions when you are charged or suspected of crime. And then 117 page number, it says appendix invoking your rights. Now, Attorney Davis once said you have more rights as a criminal than you do as a parent. He was not joking. All this works like literally a criminal can be, literally a criminal case can and actually be dropped. But when they have children and say that the state has your child, the county, they're going to make sure that you're going to be held accountable for everything. And they will put you on the CACI list, the state CACI list as child abuser. Well, you cannot be with children anymore. You cannot have children anymore. Never. And also, um, most likely you're going to lose your job. When the state wants what they want, they will go after you 100%. So just hiring any attorney is not going to benefit you. Again, I can't emphasize enough to you guys. This has to be addressed, and you guys need to lawyer up 100%. Okay? God bless you guys. I'm praying for you guys. I really, really am praying for you guys. But you guys have to do also is pray for yourselves and pray over your kids and pray over these corrupted, demonic individuals, because every teardrop that comes out of you, God counts. So I'm letting you know right now, don't be defeated and don't act like you're a victim, because you're not. This is not the time for you to cry. This is not the time for you to lose your mind, because your children need you more than you need them. Your child needs you. Okay? All right. See you guys. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is no, not tomorrow, but Thursday is Fight CPS Real Talk with Ms G. I'm going to share some more information with you guys on Thursday. And also on Friday is Relatives Fight CPS. If you have a relatives, please have them watch the show on Friday. Um, it's very important. And actually, I'm going to dedicate on Friday the show for relatives only. If there's a guest for Relatives Fight CPS, they're more than welcome to come. But if they don't show up, I'm still going to do the show, whether they're with me or not. I think this show needs to be shared with a lot of relatives. Maybe they need to hear it from someone else other than what they think they know is right. Again, if you're a relative and you have foster care license, please be careful. Be careful, because that doesn't mean you're off the hook. Okay? And if you have your own kids, also be careful, because CPS don't discriminate. They go after a lot of children. And even though in the Nancy Skinner law states that they're after, Latin kids and black kids. That's not true. Because in the whistleblower show that I had, she literally said they ask the foster homes, the adoptive foster homes, what type of baby they want. Oftentimes they would say, I want a blonde baby with blue eyes, or I want a mixed baby with like curly hair, or blah, 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 blah. So basically, what they do, they go on a witch hunt to see who they want to remove, and to always make sure that that parent has no money to hire an attorney. So if you get any involvement from the hospital staff, I don't want you to say you don't have money. You should never disclose anything, because a DHS worker will come in your room thinking that you think she's a social, part of the nurse staff. Is not true. They're going to ask you questions. Hey, do you have money for diapers? Do you need milk? Do you need, formula? Do you need this? Do you need that? Do you need this? Do not talk about your childhood with them. Do not say that you were abused when you were a child. Do not say that I'm alone, nobody's with me, I have no family. Do not say any of these things. It's like you're talking to a complete stranger, and you don't know what information they're going to take from you to use against you. You can't do this, because you're putting your child, your baby, at stake. Don't do this. Do not retaliate against them either. Be the kindest person there is in your everyday life. Be the best parent you could ever be. Do not be in confrontation with a grocery store worker, or do not be in confrontation with your gas station, I don't know, anyone. Because don't think that your anger is going to make you be all big and mighty. No, your anger is going to be like, literally, what you're going to receive from your anger is nothing more than pain and suffering, especially when they report you to CPS. This is a true story. 4 years ago at Sally Beauty Supply, I go there to get my hair color, to cover my gray. So there was a cashier, and that cashier was, LGBY, whatever they call it, and two other cashiers, female. A lady went in. She was so unhappy with what she bought. She had a stroller. She had a baby, and she said, you guys sold me a color that was, I guess somebody returned their hair color and they put water instead of, they used it and then they put water and then they returned it. So whoever took it put it back on the shelf. Well, guess what happened? So sad. She came in with the stroller. She's like, I am so unhappy with this. I really want it to look good because I'm going back to work. I just give birth, blah, 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 blah. I'm already nervous as this, and I don't appreciate that. She's kept going on, and she was yelling, and I can totally sympathize. I said. So that LGBY guy, you know, after she left, he goes, this is the God honest truth, and I put this on the Holy Bible. God is my witness. He said, well, I'll show her. She has a baby. I'm going to report her to Child Protective Services. That's in LA County. I heard this as God is my witness. I heard this with my own ears. Now, with that being said, imagine how many people that you interacted with innocently because you think people are going to understand your situation. You think they live with you and they know what you're going through. In my opinion, don't tell anyone what you're going through except for your Creator, your God. Men and women will not understand you because you're dealing with a lot of people who are literally bankrupt from themselves. So you don't want to deal with them. You don't want empathy from them because you ain't getting nothing from them but pain and suffering. So keep your yes, yes, keep your no, no. If there's something that happened in your life and you got pissed at a cashier or whatever, they did you wrong, get it resolved and move on. The only way to punish that is never show up to that grocery store again, or never show up to that Sally's supply store again. That's it. Move on to the next store. But don't create damage in your world, especially when you have a baby, especially when you have children, because children are for sale. They are for sale in America because your government allows it. Your current administration allows it. And let me just explain another thing. Biden said that inflation went down. We all know inflation is not down, but that's called gaslighting, where they make you question your reality. We all know inflation didn't go down. Yeah. So, gaslighting again is you looking at evidence, seeing the truth, but they want you to believe a lie. Okay? So, we have a stupid government administration currently sucks. So, again, CPS is no different. If you really look at the judges and the social workers and do your investigation of them, you're going to see a lot of crap. And 90% or 90, maybe more, I'll say 94% of them are not, they don't have an oath on file. Again, remember that word, oath on file. Find out if they have an oath on file immediately. And again, me and Stacey are gonna do a show about oath on file and how important oath on file is. Stacey, for God's sake, she's working. I love that girl. I miss her so much, but she works for a hospital and she's extremely busy all the time. But her schedule is gonna change in May. She promised me in May is gonna be different. Well, she's gonna be doing the shows often. Okay, so we're gonna do a show about oath on file, and we're gonna do another show about collecting good evidence. Okay, how to collect proper evidence when your case is brand new, right? Brand new, so you can help the attorney that you're going to hire better. So prepare yourself for the battle. It's not time for you to cry. It's not time for you to punch the walls. It's not time for you to lose sleep. It's not time for you to stop drinking water. It's not time for you to stop eating healthy and taking your vitamins. It's not time for you to stop walking or working out to release the negative energy from you. So all of that is important. That doesn't mean you're a bad mom, you're a bad dad. What means is that you're preparing yourself for clarity and for the battle. Because remember, when you lose sleep, you're not going to concentrate. You're not going to be alert. You're going to be angry. When you don't eat, you're going to be cranky. You can faint. When you don't take care of yourself, you're literally allowing them to destroy your children. Remember, you have to put on the oxygen mask in order for you to save your child. If you don't have that oxygen mask on you first, your child cannot save you and save themselves. So taking care of you is what's going to help you take care of your child. Again, don't feel guilty. You need to start walking. You need to start working out. You need to start literally eating, drinking plenty of water. Not alcohol to help you sleep. Alcohol is only damaging your body and your brain cells. You need to be alert. Do not do drugs. Do not do anything other than natural crap, meaning natural things like eating your fruits and vegetables and everything. Take care of your body. Take care of your mind. Take care of yourself. And don't feel guilty doing it. Because the enemy will always make you feel guilty. But we all know, again, if there's a crisis in a plane, the, the flight attendant always says, put the mask on you first before you save your child. When you're dead, who's going to save your child? Think about it. When you're asleep and you're so drugged out, who's going to save your child? No one. You are, but you need to get your act together. Get your act together. It's not about suing CPS that matters right now. It's getting your children back that matters. Then you go after CPS, but you have to collect the right evidence. You have to do the right thing. That's why it's very important that I'm going to do that show on how to collect better evidence. Rosemary said, I went from weekends to supervised. When I started with supervised in the beginning, still fighting. Guys, again, call the 888 number that you see on the screen to get a hold of me. Okay? We'll talk. Yeah. Please, guys. Again, we're going to do the special shows for evidence and for oath on file. Knowing if your court-appointed attorney and social workers and judges and all this have an oath, even district attorneys having oath on file. Your children's attorney, do they have an oath on file? This is so important. So important. Okay? If you guys are from New York, you have a New York case and you need to know a lot about the laws in New York. I have a lot that Stacy shared with me, but I'm gonna give her that floor because she is in New York and she fights for people's rights there. Now, I also had attorney Matthew Harris that was on my show. He's from Lubbock, Texas. He's handling a lot of cases now. Before, when I first met Mr. Harris, he handled cases in Lubbock only, or not far away from Lubbock. But now, because he has a bigger team, CPS defense team now, he's handling a lot of cases in Texas, and he expanded the areas on where the cases are, the counties, okay? He was on a special show with me as well. His name is attorney Matthew Harris in Lubbock, Texas, and I actually bought, oh my God, I bought a t-shirt from, he's selling t-shirts, right? And I bought one from online and I love it. I'm going to wear it. I mean, he's going to be on the show again with me and I'm going to wear the shirt in his honor. It's really cute. I'm just waiting for him to do more shirts and I'll get the other ones too. But again, this is supporting the cause and supporting him to, continue with the fight. He's an amazing attorney. He fights really hard for parents, really, really hard. I have so much respect for this guy. Also, attorney Michael. Hopefully, he's gonna. I know he was not feeling good a week ago or over 2 weeks ago, and I hope he's feeling better. But I also want to ask him back on the show. He's also in New York, and Stacy is in Buffalo, New York. I am doing as much as I can to make this more educational, more informative for you guys all to gain the benefit from it, and also for you guys to know what your rights are and how to find the proper attorney, a CPS defense attorney for your case. Do not be fooled by family law attorneys. Like I said to you guys before, please do not be fooled by family law attorneys or criminal attorneys telling you the retainer is $2,500 and then they come back 2 weeks later saying, oh, I want $10,000 from you. That's BS. The retainer is going to be really high. If you're in LA County and your case is old, you're looking at a retainer at least $40,000. If your case is brand new, you're looking at a retainer around $5,000, depending on what the charges are. Now, depending on the area too in California. So again, you need to make sure you have a attorney before removal of your children, meaning it's better to lawyer up with a CPS defense attorney from the beginning of your case. Mean not even a case, but the minute you see a social worker's business card on the door, that minute you see that very second you see that business card, you better call a CPS defense attorney immediately. What Attorney Davis's job is to make sure the kids are not removed, meaning you do not call the social worker. You tell the social worker that you hired attorney Vincent Davis. You give them attorney Davis's name and number, etc., etc., and they now will have to deal with their freaking attorney, contacting Attorney Davis. And that's how you stop yourself from making a mess out of your case. Because they will open a case whether you like it or not, whether you have wings on your back, whether you tell them that Yeshua sent you. Yeshua means Jesus, but his real name is Yeshua. Whether you tell them that, they don't care. They don't care about God. They don't care about anyone. They're demonic. Why would they care about anyone? Right? You guys don't know that they have to do a psych evaluation to hire them. And if they come back that they're compassionate and they remorseful, they're not going to hire them. They hire psychopath, sociopath. They hire narcissistic individuals that literally have nothing. They're dark inside. They have no remorse. If you guys really pay attention to the social worker stealing your child from you, they're smiling at you. Pay attention. While you're on the floor crying, begging these demons, they're smiling at you. I'll give you another example for God's sakes. Here we go. Now, most of you guys know I'm a Coptic Orthodox Christian. I'm Egyptian, right? So this is, here, I'm going to show you real quick. So this is my bishop in Australia. Okay? And he does shows, about Christ and what have you. And this is the man that just attacked him. Look at him smiling. Just attacked him. Now, this idiot had a knife, and while the bishop was, speaking to the church, he went up to him and he started stabbing him. But God is amazing. Let me tell you why. Because that idiot that's smiling in the photo, I'm going to show you the photo again, because I'm going to, here. He's smiling on the ground while they have the crowd have him. Now, that bishop, my beautiful people, prayed over him when he was able to stand up. He prayed over him. And that idiot that's smiling had the knife, but he forgot to remove the covering of the knife. And he was stabbing the bishop with the covering on. So thank God he's okay. He just has, bruises or, from the impact. But that's what social workers do. They smile at you. See, that's not normal. That's like a demon. If you guys really pay attention, these are demons. Demons exist. Right there. So, God is real. Demons are real. The devil is real. So you need to wise up. You need to cover your candle, your family. There is no such thing as best friend. You should tell your best friend your secrets and tell this and your neighbor and this and that and blah, 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 and be a butterfly, social butterfly. Once you have a family, you need to protect your family. Prayers work. Believe it or not, prayers work. Demons cannot hurt you when you're praying. We are protected. We have a perfect love. You keep praying. The only thing a demon can do is distract you. You keep on praying and praising God, and you're going to see amazing things happen to you. I guarantee you. And I'm telling you this for real, telling you this because I've seen miracles happen in front of me. And for those of you that watch my prayer shows, you will understand where I'm coming from with what I'm saying to you right now. Prayers work. Forgive your enemy. Do not sin by attacking them back. Pray over them. Because you're praying over their flesh and soul. Because the inside of them is demons. Legions of demons. So we're not fighting against flesh and blood. Pray over your enemy. and God will make them your footstool. I guarantee you, because my God doesn't lie. Put on the whole armor of God. And believe me when I tell you this, once you have the whole armor of God, no one can ever harm you. No satanic temples can ever get to you. No witchcraft can ever hurt you. You are protected, and we have the perfect protection from Him. Just believe, find who God is, have Him come to your life, have Him come to your heart, and you'll know who He is. I guarantee you. Um, Rosemary said, I went from week. Okay, I saw that. She said, do you what you need to do and move forward? Fight, fight, fight. Rosemary said, but then again, parents can only do so much when facing false accusations. That's okay. There was a social worker on Bob's show last night. It was joke. Jen? Faker? What? I did not see that. Wait, Rosemary, what are you saying? Really, Rosemary, you're going to leave me at that? Don't leave me hanging like that. I don't watch any other shows. I don't have time, you guys. I wish I know. I want to see that show. But I want to know what you meant, Rosemary. Did you mean lying? Faker? That's okay. There was a social worker on Bob's show. An actual social worker, or a a social worker was on Fight CPS with Bob. I know, my love. I got that part. But is she still a social worker, or is she a retired social worker, or she resigned? Because I have social workers that resign from the department, but they will never be on the show because they don't want to expose their families, because their brothers and sisters have children. They don't want to expose them. Rosemary said she is a lying faker social worker. Oh my God. So don't tell me. So she probably said that, I care about children. I want to protect them, etc., right? Yes, that part. I'm not sure. I believe she still is a social worker. That's bullshit. Did she expose the department, or did she say that she's there to help children and family? I doubt it. Talk to me, Rosemary. Talk to me. You know what? Call me right now, Rosemary. Call me at this number. Here. I want you to call me at this number right now, Rosemary. Okay? Call me at this number right now. This is my direct number. The 626 number. I hope you see it. Oops, right here. 626-631-8901. She said, yes. She said she is there to not steal children. I knew it. Okay. So, let me explain something to you guys real quick. Ever since I started attacking them and exposing the real truth about them, they literally have been literally trying to escape everything and trying to be at a different light. Because there's absolutely no way in hell a social worker would be working in that entity that literally has remorse for parents and doing the right thing. Because if that social worker is doing the right damn thing, they will not make the county money. They will not bring them money. That's BS and complete lie. And she better thank God she wasn't on my show, because I will never tolerate this kind of madness, lies, fabrication on my show. Period. Because if she has the balls to be on my show, she better be saying the truth. There's no room for fakers here. God knows I do not tolerate this crap, especially when evil is everywhere in those entities. When people stand up for what's right in those entities, they get fired or they are forced to resign because they want to do the right thing. How many of you heard Fannie Willis firing her assistant because she brought up the money part and you know, I don't know, the people's money that she's spending on her boyfriend, her lover, her married lover? Think about it. She fired her. That assistant recorded her butt, and we all heard it. So think about it for a second. If she's doing the right thing, she's not going to lose. If she's doing the right thing for the county, she's not going to lose her job. If she's going against the county and wants to help the parents and the children, she will lose her damn job. See, that's what demonic people do. Demonic entities will never, ever, ever do the right thing. So that idiot that was on the show, that social worker, is a complete lie. And I challenge her right now, if she's listening, to be on my show and talk like that. And I will expose everything about her to everyone to see. I guarantee you she's a liar 100%. But again, I love challenges like that. Okay, so now I have to end the show. Rosemary didn't call me, therefore I have to end the show now. But you can always text me after the show and just text me your full name and then I will give you a call back. All right, God bless you guys, and we'll see you guys on Thursday and Friday on my shows at 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.